Good morning this beautiful morning and welcome to Idea Morning Digest. For today, every morning you are faced with a world that moves fast, sometimes exactly as we predicted, and oftentimes in a way we never saw coming. Our job is to pull back the curtains on those headlines. We aren't just telling you what happened, we are unpacking the why behind the stories, shaping education, tech, business, and the politics that hit home, the African continent, and beyond. That's how we welcome you today to the Idea Morning Digest today. And we want to dive into some stories shaping Africa and the world. And before we do that, we'll just go quickly to our headlines for the morning. Then after the break, we can dive into the stories that we have. And the first headline this morning, we have power outrage in Kano as KEDCO workers begin indefinite strike. I also brought to you that Army, Police agreed on joint security operations in Delta. And lastly, we brought to you that World Bank, WCO Custom train officers for trade facilitation. Alright, we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we're sure to give you the rest of the stories that we have here for you today.
Facebook wasn't the first thing I built. I also built chat systems and games, study tools and music players, and I'm not alone. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times before she finally wrote and published Harry Potter. I don't know how to build a dam. I don't know how to get 1 million people involved in anything. Well, let me tell you a secret. No one does when they begin. Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started.
(5G) technology. 5G technology promises to be a game changer by delivering ultra-fast internet speeds, low latency, and the ability to connect millions of devices seamlessly. It's going to fuel the future of smart cities, autonomous vehicles, and IoT devices, allowing them to communicate in real time. However, 5G rollout isn't without hurdles. High costs of infrastructure and regulatory issues in some regions have slowed down implementation. By 2026, the 5G market is expected to be valued at $667.90 billion, with the US, China, and South Korea leading the change. The challenge? Cybersecurity risks and data privacy will remain top concerns as more devices become connected.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on today's Idea Morning Digest. Alright, about the first story we have here. We have Kano is in darkness after workers of the Kano Electric Distribution Company, KEDCO, embarked on an indefinite strike over alleged power working conditions. The action led by the Senior Staff Association of Electricity, the aligned companies and the National Union of Electricity Employers followed the expiration of a deadline issued to management on January 20, with power supply cut across the metropolis and surrounding areas. Union leader accused KEDCO management of failing to honor long-standing agreements, including non-remittance of pension, unpaid debt benefits, poor working condition, and alleged bias in staff promotion. They said some workers have remained without promotions for over a decade, prompting the shutdown of operations and distribution of socio-economic activities in Kano. This total darkness in Kano is actually another big story there that we have for this morning. You know, workers often complaining about their salary not being paid. I mean, if you don't pay workers, how do you expect them to have excitement in doing their work? Every work deserves a pay. And at this point, I believe that if they are putting their effort in working, they should be paid. Because the environment going into gross darkness is not actually encouraging, especially in this era that we are right now. We need an environment where there is light so that we can monitor our environment very well. We know what is happening and when what is happening is happening. You know, over the time I've been hearing about this threatening of strike here and there, and I believe it's as a result of debts that have not been paid to workers. And this is actually very annoying because you cannot be working and not expect to be paid, or you don't collect your salary at the end of your work years or your work months. Because workers also have things to meet up with. They have responsibilities to meet up with. They have other things that they want to do aside coming to work. They have other responsibilities they want to. So, if they are not being paid, their responsibility cannot be met. Like most things they want to do personally, aside the work environment, outside the work environment, cannot be met. And this can be very annoying. And yes, I can imagine how angry they are to have, concluded on going on to strike. And this strike, believe you me, is going to affect a lot of things.
Sure.
Because this is we now encouraging insecurity, because in an environment where there is gross darkness, you don't expect things unseen not to happen.
Yes.
People will go around, steal things, you understand? Would have will have a lot of casualties at home, nearby areas, road. Maybe you're living in an environment where you're supposed to have light passage to your house, and you don't have it, and at the end of the day you just hit or stumble on something that becomes an accident. So I urge them to actually pay workers as they've already come out to cry. I don't think it's ideal for them to actually wait for this action to be taken before looking into doing something. I just felt they would have done something to prevent this.
Yes.
I think everything is actually, some problems are actually preventable when they are doing the right thing. The right thing has not been done, and you don't expect them not to go on strike based on what is happening. As an individual, as a citizen, I want to say, oh, why don't I have light? Why are NEPA behaving the way they are behaving? Why is there gross darkness when we are promised to be having light? Not knowing that there is already something going on in the background, and it's okay that they actually cried out this way. And I believe that they're going to, after this, is going to be looked into, and that will be resolved.
Okay. Concerning this, will I say we have experienced that in my community, like a whole year, there was no lights. Just like that. It's not about the strike, but it's because our transformer had issue. Then people started packing out. This whole stuff do affect the environment too. The society, because people will pack out, so many things will be happening, like stealing and the rest of it. Just imagine you are in the area you don't have lights, and just imagine you're walking without paying. Just as you have said, you cannot be working, and at the end of the day you are expecting something, and then they tell you there is nothing, or you are not going to be paid for the month. You won't have this energy again to want to work. You just feel reluctant because you feel you're working, and at the end of at the end of the day you are not being paid So how do I have this morale, this energy to want to work more or put more effort? The society, will I say, the Kano state governor should look, or the states should look into their matter, so that there will be more lights, steady lights, even if it's not steady, but there should be lights. There should be lights for everybody to use, to see. These days we use lights for so many things.
A lot of things.
And so many people, their business is based on lights, electricity. Just imagine from morning to night, you go to the shop, nothing to do because there is no light. So how will you feed? Some people are depending on electricity for their feed, for their life. So you cannot just expect citizens in that community or people living there to cope or to understand, because they will always blame NEPA at the end of the day for not bringing their light. So the governments, will I say the states, in Kano, the Kano state governor and the leaders there should look into the matter and sort out this strike to pay them their salaries and whatsoever the agreement is, so that they will meet up their demands and the lives will be restored to them in the community.
You know, union leaders are accusing the management of failing to honor long-standing agreements, including non-remittance of pension. We have unpaid debt benefit, poor working condition. I mean, the long-standing agreements, including non-remittance, what is happening for them to have cried out in this number and for this time? It means that it has been happening for a very, and they've been bearing, thinking that something is going to be done about it, but seeing that there's no movement anywhere, they have to come out and say, no, we aren't taking this no more. It's either they answer us or we're going on indefinite strike, not even knowing where they're going to call the strike off. So it's a very big one there, that they are being accused of long-standing, delay of long-standing agreements. If there's any agreement in place, they should at least meet up to it. They have unpaid debt benefits. They have poor working condition. I mean, poor working condition is a terrible something. Nobody wants to work in an environment which is not comfortable. At all. You know, we do not agree with the work environment. Nobody wants to do that. And alleged bias in staff promotion, very important. When somebody has worked for a long period of time, they do expect in their mind to be promoted, whether you accept it or not. So I think this area needs to be touched. And the poor working condition is something that I do not agree with. Okay. The conditions should be very, very comfortable for us. All right, without taking much of our time, let's move forward to the next story we have here.
The Nigerian Army and the Nigeria Police Force have agreed to strengthen collaboration to improve security across Delta State. The agreement was reached on Tuesday in Asaba during a courtesy visit by the Delta State's Commissioner of Police, Anina Adesola, to the commander of the 36th Brigade of Operation Delta Save, Brigadier General Shanobara. Both security
in any that there is no collaboration is actually not going to move forward. I like the fact that the Nigerian Army and the Nigeria Police Force has agreed to strengthen collaboration to improve security across Delta State. The agreement was actually reached on Tuesday. It's actually a nice one in Asaba during a courtesy visit by the Delta State Commissioner of Police, Amina Adesola. That is a great one there. The collaboration is going to march us forward. Considering, I always used to say, considering what is happening right now, I feel this collaboration is coming at the right time to tackle insecurity issues. And with this collaboration being put in place about the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police, the workforce, it's going to be a so unified and powerful workforce that would threaten the insecurity in this country. And that one for me is a go for me, because we are looking forward to 2026 being a better year for us, where the insecurity level is going to reduce a lot. We're also looking forward to eradicate insecurity totally. I'm looking forward to how possible that is. But in this collaboration, is going to bring a lot of improvement in our security unit. Both security chiefs stress their need for sustained synergy. That is very important, including timely intelligence sharing and joint operation to tackle crime effectively. And that is very important. Okay. This is actually to tackle crime. And I think tackling crime is one of the key points here. Sure. And it's very exciting to hear that. So the police commissioner highlighted security concerns in areas and communities, calling for coordinated strategy to address emerging threats. I'm enjoying the fact that this is coming at this time, because when this the bandits or whatever they are called hear about it, these are people that are always on social media. They will definitely see most of this news, and they would see the fact that Nigeria is becoming stronger. We're building. Yes, we are building. We're becoming stronger. We're becoming more cooperative. We are beginning to work in cooperation
Unity,
and in
especially in
unity.
security
Very important.
levels.
So in this collaboration right now, I believe that it's going to tackle the insecurities we're having, because up till now, we're still hearing about adoption here and there. We're still hearing about kidnapping here and there. Of course, do not forget that we're still hearing about trafficking.
Yeah.
So with this collaboration, I believe that all these things are going to be looked into. And while being looked into, it's going to cut off the insecurity issues we're having in this country. And then we'll know that, yes, we are moving forward. And moving forward has always been the key for us. Moving forward has always been something we have in mind to do. And this year, like I used to say to Cynthia, that I see with a lot of hope. You know, she will always tell me, are you working with the hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? But not actually talking about that, even if it's aligning a little. But the hope is giving the, you know, this vibe of, okay, we are actually going to tackle insecurity finally. And it's very, very exciting to read this news, and I'm very happy to actually know about it. And I believe Nigerians too are happy to know about it. And I believe you that is watching us is actually happy to know about the fact that this collaboration has been put to place to tackle insecurity issues in communities, especially in rural communities. I always emphasize in rural communities, because these communities are communities where there is poor or no network at all, where there is poor or no strong security at all, where you see their checkpoints are very, very empty, where their community is not actually well equipped. Even when there is security, the security agencies there are not very well equipped with things to fight back. So I feel this collaboration would expand to all these rural communities, like it's been stated here. And one thing I look forward to is not about the news, is not just the news alone. I'm looking forward to the implementation of this right now, because we've had a lot of collaborations here and there, especially when it comes to insecurity. But we want to see where it's being implemented fully, where people are now, you know, benefiting from the collaboration, being happy that, okay, this joint force is actually making a lot of sense. We are the beneficiaries of it. That is the stage I want you to get to, where would praise and say, okay, it's a nice collaboration that the police and the army are actually coming together to look for an issue, a solution to the problem. Whether we accept it or not, we have a problem to be solved. And I like the fact that we're looking into possible means of solving the problem, Gladys.
Yeah. Will I say the news is actually a good one, and the collaboration too is a nice one to hear that the Delta states are looking into collaborating with each other, especially the personnel, which is the army and the police. You know, in this our country, will I say back then when I was growing up, I felt as if they never had this agreement. You see soldier and police as if they are not in good terms. You see them like separate people. It will be as if I'll be like, why is it that police, when there is police, you don't see soldier? When there is soldier, you don't see police. But these days, I notice where you see police, you might see soldier. Where you see soldier, you may see a policeman. It's actually a great move to see that the Delta states, they want to collaborate, to see that the security issues is being tied up and being put to place. Because in this country, each state, every community, we need this security very well. You know, since the beginning of, will I say, since last year till now, things has been going well, especially the security aspect. Right. We have been seeing that changes. Nobody will say he hasn't seen a bit change of security matter. We are seeing
Did I say that I've not
seen? They are trying. So okay. Will I say the governments, the states, they are all doing their best to see that everybody stays in peace, everybody live where there is no attack, where you move on, whether you come back in the night, everywhere will be well like tight. There's no how you go out and somebody will be, hey, where are you going to? Or somebody will attack you from the back. No, everything is now put in place. Will I say, I just look forward. We look forward to see that this news come to it's come to conclusion where they will implement it. It's not by just saying it. We do always say that if anything is being bring up, it should be implemented properly, not just to the hearing of the audience, but we want to see workings.
Exactly. The collabo, it's actually a nice one, and I look forward to them actually, especially stationing. We should have a stationed security personnel in our, where is this called? Not in the
states.
No, not really in the states. To be stationed at the checkpoints. That's what I want to see.
The checkpoints.
To check, actually. Let's know what's coming into the state and out of the state. And I believe this collabo is not only going to be in Delta State. I believe it's going to move forward and come over to Abuja and other states to strengthen security units. All right, then, let's go into the next story because of our time. The Nigerian Customs Service, in partnership with the World Customs Organization and the World Bank Group, has begun an accelerated trade facilitation program aimed at strengthening custom reform and modernizing operation across the country. The initiative focuses on improving compliance, transparency, and efficiency, with special emphasis on post-clearance audits. Custom authorities said the program will review progress and fast-track key reforms to support risk-based compliance and ease of doing business. Speaking at the opening duty, Comptroller General Keki Kuloma, I hope I did not murder that name, Adiola, described post-clearance audits as a critical pillar of modern custom administration, noting it helps facilitate legitimate trade while safeguarding government revenue. Okay, that is the last story we have here. The Nigeria Customs Service, in partnership with the World Customs Organization and the World Bank Group, it has actually begun an accelerated trade facilitation program aimed at strengthening custom reform and modernizing operation across the country. The partnership that I always talk about is actually happening here again. Now it's partnership with the World Customs Organization and the World Bank Group. It's a great one there that this year we're getting to hear a lot about partnership here and there. And why this partnership? Let's see why the partnership is here. The partnership is actually to fast-track key reforms to support risk-based compliance and ease of doing business, and that is very, very important. And speaking at the opening, the Deputy Controller General said he described the post-clearance audit as a critical pillar of modern custom administration needed to help facilitate legitimate trade. Very important, legitimate. I love the word legitimate trade. Legal trade is to help facilitate it. It means that it has actually occurred to them that a lot of things is going that is delaying trade, that is making trade not to be very fast, and this they are trying to fast track the move to make sure trade is actually being fast-tracked and no more delays, so that we can actually balance things up. In a country where the economy is a little bit shaking and there's no much supplies and there is no much gain in trade, we have to look into it, because this poverty is not something to reckon with at all. It's not something to associate yourself with. So I like the fact that it has come to their mind to actually fast track key reforms and actually fast track trade. And the audit is a critical pillar of modern custom administration, noting it to help facilitate legitimate trade while safeguarding government revenue. And it's very, very important that we safeguard government revenue. Like I always used to say here, that governments have proven themselves a little to let me not say a little, they've proven themselves to be government of the people. Like I see, most times we've not been involved in most of the decisions taken, but
these
recently
days, the
the
people
youth
are
have been,
involved.
yes, a little bit involved, and you see the youth coming out to say their mind when things are not aligning with what they
What the
think it should be. Just like example I give, just like the tax reform policy. You know, this all this is coming at the right time. That is what I would say. It's coming at the right time because for them to have this partnership with the World Custom Organization, it means that a lot of things need to be rearranged, packaged back, and looked into so that everything is going to work fine and well. Gladys, what do you think? You support me, right?
Yes, I do. I support you so that everything will work well and right. You see, where there is no, let's say, partnership, sometimes you see collaboration and partnership in business is good. For you, it helps for you to also see your strengths, your weaknesses. So this, will I say, the custom and the World Bank is a good one at that, to see that the trade works well, to see that at the end of it, there's something to gain in it. There's something that will come out of it, a better one at
I like the
that.
fact that I'm seeing transparency and efficiency with special emphasis on port clearance audit. It's a very important one.
Yes, it is, and it should not just be said as
It
usual.
should be implemented.
They should put more efforts to it.
Yeah.
It's by doing it. It's not by always saying it. I've always said that whatsoever they are implementing, whatsoever they are bringing up to the table, whatsoever the collaboration might be, or the reform may be, whatsoever it is, it should be put in place. It should be tackled very well. And I believe this one, it will be a good one too. The custom and the World Bank, the trade will be a good one.
All right, Gladys has said that it's going to be. She's looking forward for it to be a good one. And yes, of course, it should be a good one at the end of the day. All right, right about now, we're going to move forward. And because of our time, let's take the recap of the headlines. We brought to you that federal government targets less borrowing, more domestic violence. We brought to you also that, okay, I will take back the headline. All right, the first headline is power outage in Kano as KEDCO workers begin indefinite strike. I also brought to you that Army Police agreed on joint security operation in Delta State. And lastly, we said World Bank WCO custom trained officers for trade facilitation. All right, we'll go on a quick break now. When we're back, we'll dive into the discussion segment for today. And yes, we'll discuss more about the collaboration theme. All right, we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we're sure to give you the rest of the stories.
Number 8. Self-healing materials. Materials that repair themselves aren't just science fiction anymore. Researchers at the University of Manchester developed a self-healing aerospace material that can autonomously patch small cracks in aircraft components. In 2023, LG Chem showcased self-healing coatings that restore scratches on car surfaces within minutes under heat. The potential extends to consumer electronics, where cracked phone screens may eventually fix themselves without a trip to the repair shop. Markets and Markets estimates the self-healing materials industry could grow to over $4 billion by 2027, with applications in automotive, aerospace, and infrastructure leading the way.
Welcome back. On the discussion segment, we have power outage in Kano as KEDCO workers began indefinite strike. Now we're going to be looking into why the strike happened. Workers at the Kano Electric Distribution Company under two major unions began an indefinite strike yesterday on Wednesday. The action followed management failure to meet workers' demand after a deadline expired on January 20th. As a result, Kano and its surroundings area were plugged into darkness, disrupting daily life and economic activity. All right, causes of the strike is what we're going to be looking into today in our discussion segment. Workers cite poor working conditions. These are part of the things they talked about. And allegations include non-remittance of pension, unpaid debt benefits, and unsafe work environment. Now you see that we're going to be discussing about the causes of the strike and way forward and what to do to move forward in it. So first is the workers have cited poor working condition. Poor working condition, which I mentioned earlier in our news this morning about why the workers are actually complaining and going on strike because of the poor working condition. And they also alleged include non-remittance of pension and unpaid death benefits and an unsafe work environment. Of course, every individual wants to work in an environment that is safe, that is secured, that they'll have trust in and know that yes, they are protected. And these people are actually crying out to say that the environment in which they are working is unsafe for them. They're talking about the remittance of pension, they're talking about the unpaid death benefit, and these are the reasons why they had to go on strike. Now, looking forward to what this strike thing would actually affect. It's going to actually affect a lot of activities in the area. It's going to affect the trading. It's going to affect studies. Yes, because a lot of people need lights to study. It's going to affect foodstuff for people that freeze things to sell, especially fish. People that it's going to affect that. So for them to cry out this much, it means that it's something that has been ongoing for a very long time. And the union, they are accusing KEDCO about the remittance of payment. Now they also have the disrupt has reportedly lingered since 2014. And they are saying no to it, that it's not possible that they're going to keep quiet since 2014, 2015, 2016 till 2026. They are still having repeated actions by them and not being answered for. And I think at this point they've endured enough and they feel they want to move forward to the next stage. So the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Light Companies says several agreements were not honored by management. They have their proof that the agreement has not been honored by the management, and this is going to affect a lot of things, which we are actually saying that it should be looked into so that all these things will not be affected. Now, the National Union of Electricity Employees they are also accusing them of selective promotion. Why should the promotion? Why should the promotion be selective? Why should it be leaving some workers stagnant for over a decade? It's actually not nice. I don't think it's something very advising, and this would actually keep morals of workers, just like Gladys have rightly said. It's okay for you to be working in a place for some time and then see other old staff being promoted. You feel excited and want to work more because you feel at the end of the day that you too you get promoted after working for a while. But you see people working for a very long time not being promoted, and people that came earlier are now being promoted ahead of people that were there for a long period of time. It's something that is sometimes it can be very embarrassing. Like it will look like this set of people aren't doing their job and these ones are doing their job. Like you're trying to, and that selective process can be very, very annoying. So I get the point where they are coming out from. The impact of the, they have widespread power outage across Kano and neighboring area. Kano should be a place where there should be light. I do not want to put it that they have high insecurities issue there. No, I've not heard that, but they should have light at least. Distribution to businesses, healthcare services, education and household, like I said, is going to affect businesses, it's going to affect healthcare, it's going to affect education, and it's going to affect, let's leave households because they can manage, they can come in with maybe generator, or let's talk about the businesses it's going to affect. Now, when these lights are not being provided for business owners, you see that a lot of livestock, maybe a lot of saved stock in their fridge start getting spoiled, and this will affect both the buyers, both the customers, both the consumers. In fact, it's going to affect everybody. Yes. Talking about the healthcare, when there are no lights in hospitals, what do you expect? Most of the things are run with computer. We're digital now in this age. So when you get to the hospital, you hear there is power outage. you have to wait for a some period of time to be attended to, be that some things are not done manually anymore. Some things have been some things are now done online. And then they'll be like, okay, you have to wait because we're having power outage. It's going to be very, very, very discouraging, because of course you'll be like, what is happening? Why can't I be attended to? But these are all the things that is going to affect when this is not looked into. Now you now have increased cost of living. Of course, when there is power outage, you have increased cost of living, because when there is no light, there are no things to save one side, like to prevent from getting spoiled. You see people keep buying and buying and buying and buying, and before you know, the cost of living will increase and people will start complaining that the cost of living is high, we cannot manage anymore, it becomes a problem. So we're discussing about it because we want all this mentioned aspects to be looked into. Now let's talk about the management labor relation. The strike highlighted ongoing industry relation challenge in Nigerian power sector, which should be looked into, because I can say that for some time now in Abuja we had power outage too for a period of time, which a lot of people came out to complain, like, there's heat, well, we need light, there is this, we need light, we're battling with insecurity in some environment, some areas, we need light, we need to secure our environment and all that. That happened, and I participated in the power outage too, and I saw the way it went. I wasn't cool with it, because a lot of things I wanted to do that I could not do, a lot of things I wanted to meet up to, that it was actually delaying me. So I can relate when they are saying that, oh, this is going to affect this and that and that and this. Yes, it's actually going to affect. Now, how failure of dialogue and delayed intervention escalated the situation. Exactly. You know, failure of dialogue can be very, 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 very risky. And delayed intervention escalated the situation. Because assuming this was answered, assuming they were answered when this report was made, I mean, 2014 is a long time. It's a long time. I mean, if they were attended to, it wouldn't have gotten to this extent. But because they were not attended to, nobody was paying interest to what they were saying. They were feeling, okay, we can. I don't think they don't know that light is very important. They actually know light is very important, but they felt we can leave this one for the time being and face other issues, not knowing that light should be one of the majors. And that's the reason why, since them, they know the importance of light and how shaky it can be to people's business and health. They have to, like, okay, let's go on strike. Let's see who wins. I don't think this should be the battle of winning. I think this should be answered and looked into, because failure of dialogue and delayed intervention can escalate the situation, which it has already. But we believe that is going to be looked into. Now let's see the importance and implication. Economic impact. Prolonged blackout threatens small business, manufacturing and commercial activities. Actually, it does. Prolonged blackout can threaten small businesses, especially the small ones. It can so threaten it. It can also threaten manufacturing. It can also threaten commercial activities. And public welfare, power outage affects healthcare delivery, water supply, and, like I said, security. Now, power outage affects healthcare. Healthcare, this is where people go for their checks up and all. They need it. And if they are not being attended to, this is going to affect the healthcare. It's going to affect the water supply and security. A lot of things. Now, we have labor rights. Rises concern about workers, welfare, pension, administration, and fair promotion practice. Gladys, I've said a lot about this.
You really said a lot. You see, this issue here is so touching, and because especially looking at it that it has been for like 2014, that is a long time. Imagine you working for so long and you're not seeing anything improve, you're not seeing anything being done concerning your salary, concerning whether it's promotion. And it's been stated here that especially is because of this recent, I think they had a recent development in promotion aspect, and so many people were not, especially those that have stayed for a very long time, that have served in the organization for a very long time, and they are not being worded in one way or the other, it won't serve well. Imagine you just giving yourself this compensating yourself that don't worry, everything will be fine. You know, these days, not everybody that is working is enjoying his work. Let me put it that way, because you might just want to engage yourself. Everybody wants to work for a survival. Then you working for a survival, it will be like a death threat to you, or like a starvation. You are starving yourself over because you want to get something to feed on. No, it shouldn't be like that. I love it. I love the fact that they came out to voice out whatsoever that is in them, because if they have gone peacefully, I believe they won't answer them. They won't even send them. Maybe it has been that they have been going there like peacefully, but because they are not taking action of it and they feel reluctant. People at the top, they feel reluctant on answering these people. And these are people that have so much responsibilities to take out. They have families, they have other things to do. Imagine that is the only work most of them based on. You put on your effort in doing one thing, believing that
and at the end of the day, you come out with everything.
Yes, then you will feel like you don't know what their relation or whosoever they are with. They will be like, why always they don't pay? Why always every time they don't pay you? And you hear it will affect even the family. So it's them, they know whatsoever they have endured for so long to this time, and they feel it's fed up. They need to do something. Something needs to be done. And I felt this coming out this way, them coming out this way is a good one. And what I feel like, or whatsoever it is, the states should look into their matter whatsoever they have brought to answer them, because it's not be easy. You being in somebody's shoe that you have been working and you are not seeing anything for it. No, they should look into the matter and answer them. They should pay whatsoever they are owing them. Exactly. It's not as if it's something they cannot pay. It's not as if they cannot pay. They can actually do that thousands of times, but why holding back the salaries and the rest? For peace to reign and for everybody to enjoy their stays in their society, in their community, whatsoever they are, and the business owners too, because it's not only affecting, they might feel like, yeah, they should go on strike. No, because it will affect almost everybody in the community, in the states. Imagine the whole of this Abuja don't have lights. What will happen?
A lot of
so many things we see, so many things.
A lot of things will go
Even
wrong.
you in your house that you feel like that you're supposed to be the person paying them, you will be affected.
Exactly.
Even if you feel you have the gen in your house that you on throughout from morning to night, you will go outside. You will not remain in your house. You will definitely go out of your house. So there is a way you will be affected in one way or the other. So them coming out, the Kano state should look into their matter and answer them, please. That is what I will say. Because it will not be good that you work a whole year and there's nothing out of it, so that the business people will go back to their business peacefully. They will do their things, and they will not have this breakdown in their business.
Okay. Actually, well said. And that is where I want to say that call for one should be a call for all.
Yes.
Just like they are looking into this energy problem right now, I believe it should circulate around the country and be looked into for once and for all. All right, talking about the energy sector stability, it underscores the need for stronger oversight and reforms in electricity distribution companies. Very important. We have the urgency of resolution. Is a call for swift government and regulatory intervention to restore power and prevent further hardship. So all we are saying that this should be looked into to call a quick action from the government to restore power, to restore and prevent further hardship. And this is where we would actually draw our conclusion for today on the discussion segment on the Idea TV Morning Digest. So from me to you, it's saying that the government is going to actually look into all things that have been said and, prevent further hardship from happening for for more. So we're looking forward to implementation. We're looking forward to these people being settled. We're looking forward to Kano State having their electricity back and businesses moving forward as healthcare would also move forward, and education sector, because these areas we don't want it to be affected at all and want to prevent hardship from moving further. And that's all we have for you today. Gladys, do you have any other thing to say?
Oh, well, I would just say that they should look into it and resolve the issues and achieve a lasting solution to all of this.
Exactly, I like the way she put it. Achieve a lasting solution to all of it. Like she said, achieving a lasting solution is what we all are looking forward to. The reason why they cried out is because they wanted a solution to the problem.
Sure.
And I believe government have heard their cry and will definitely look into it. And that's a very big thank you to you watching us from there. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms. Send us your thoughts, your comments at Idea Television. We're there to answer you. Send us what you think about today's discussion segment on Idea TV. And from me, it's a goodbye from here. And Gladys?
Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
And thanks for watching.